Good Sunday morning, everybody. It's time to get Sunday dinner started. So come on in and look at the menu for today. What I've done today is a little bit different. I'm trying to work smarter and not harder. I've got all my foods laid out that I'm going to be cooking today, so they'll be just at arm's reach. So hope everybody's having a God bless Sunday. Hope you got something planned for today for your meal. Either already cooked it last night. You know how we used to do, cook that meal on Saturday night. I do that in part with some of my foods, but not all the way. So let's get started with this meal. And let me just show you the menu for the day. Let's get up here. This little board that Tanya got for me is coming in real handy. It says, come on in. The Sunday dinner menu for today is going to be roast beef and veggies, fried chicken, gourmet green beans and carrots, broccoli salad, loaded fried rice is back on the menu again today. Sweet buttery corn on the cob is on the menu. Croissants, sweet cornbread, brown sugar lemonade, and raspberry lemon punch. So, as you can see, I've got everything all laid out. This is that beautiful roast beef. It's getting ready to go into the oven. I've already pre-marinated and put all the veggies around it last night. This is 6 pounds of roast beef, half a pound of potatoes, a pound of carrots, and 1 large onion, and a small green pepper. And of course, you know, I seasoned it with my usual complete seasoning: garlic powder, onion powder, some adobo seasoning, and a little bit of soy sauce on it this time. So I'm getting ready to run this roast into the oven. It's going to cook about 3.5 hours, and it's going to be soft enough to just not even have to chew it. Tender enough, rather. And then I want to have a gravy, of course, to go with it, so that we can eat it over the rice if we want to, or not, because we got potatoes in that roast, and we'll mash those potatoes up. You know how we do. Anyway, I'm getting ready to run this roast into the oven. I'm going to start it out. I put no water in it. What I did was just put the seasonings right onto it, poked it a little bit so the seasoning will go all the way through it. So we're going to get ready to put the cover back over it, and it's getting ready to go into the oven. And like I say, 3.5, 4 hours. This is a lot of roast, y'all. A lot of roast. Okay, this is a chuck roast, by the way. This is what I use. It has the best flavor to it. That's why I use chuck roast. Okay. Okay. That roast is in the oven on 350. That's why I'm leaving it in 4 hours. I'm going to sort of slow cook it so it can cook that long. Now, as far as the individuals that cannot hear me, I don't know what's going on. Most people can hear me. When I play it back to edit, I can hear perfectly well. So I don't know, but I apologize in advance if this one has some problems with hearing. So let's keep it moving. We're going to go over here to the counter. Okay, in that bag there, I've probably got 10 pounds of chicken that I'm going to fry up. I've got a tube of a Shady Brook ground turkey. That's going to go in the right. Half of that's going to go into the rice. I've got all my seasonings and my utensils out here on the side. This just makes it easier when you got everything sort of sitting out there at arm's reach. So we'll go back over here and let's talk about, we got the broccoli salad mix. Of course, you see the big old bag of broccoli. I'm using the whole bag today. There's my raisins. I might fry up some bacon today and all the ingredients to go in there. And we're going to be doing, of course, those are all my veggies that I got to get chopped up. And my green beans, I want to stir fry those. There's 6 bags in there. I probably want to do about 3 bags, which will be, let's see, I'll do 3 pounds of those beans and with some carrots in them. And that's going to be it. So when you see this food again, it's going to be in a different stage. It's going to be ready to eat pretty much. And I'll let y'all see some things that I'm doing with it along the way. So hang in there. Go ahead and get those pots rattling. Figure out a menu. And let's cook this Sunday dinner together. Okay? We're working on the broccoli salad. I'm cutting these broccoli florets down to smaller pieces Some of them are really big pieces, so I'm just taking out those middle pieces. So for those of you who've never made the salad before, that's what you have to do. This is a pound bag. I'm gonna make the whole bag today. Broccoli florets by Green Giant, Sam's Club. And over here, I'm gonna do something a little bit different to my old time broccoli salad maker. I'm gonna put some fresh fried bacon in there. Because bacon and cheese are, I think I said that before, is two of the things that you can put in there. So I'm frying some bacon real nice and crisp. When it cools off, I'm gonna chop it up. I'm gonna put a lot in there because I don't want it to overpower. This is some good bacon. That's why I'm putting this in there. The commissary had these packs of bacon on sale yesterday, so I grabbed me a few. And I'm going to put some in my broccoli salad. It'll be wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. But you know you have to cook it down and then let it crisp up for you. Y'all know I got that TV going in the background. I had to turn it down for a minute there. So these are nice and crispy. Just, you know, fry them real nice and crisp. This is some of that good hickory smoked. I think it has brown sugar. It's my favorite thing in the world. So that bacon is done. Got my rice already cooked over there and cooling. Okay, so we're done with the bacon. I'm gonna get back over here and continue chopping. The only thing I have to chop now is one of these onions. This smaller onion is gonna go into it, and then we'll get it mixed. I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. We're putting the broccoli salad together. Remember now, a 1 pound bag of broccoli by Green Giant. It makes a nice bowl. Sort of take some of those thick pieces out of there. I put them in the bag already with the pieces that look sort of like that. These pieces. Now you can boil these and make broccoli, cream of broccoli soup if you want to. I mean, there ain't nothing wrong with them, but they're just not good for broccoli salad. So you want to get your pieces of broccoli broken down. Let's just, you know, like this bite size. Okay. Now, I've got 1 medium onion diced in there. You can use red onion, or sweet onion, or just plain old white onion, which is what I'm using today. Then I'm going to, then I already put a half cup of brown sugar in there. And, of course, I have to put my raisins in there. I'm going to get everything in there. And then the mayo will be the last thing. Well, actually, the bacon will be the last thing. But normally, if I don't do bacon, mayonnaise, Hellman's, that is the one I use. Some people like to use the, what's it, the salad dressing one. I can't think of the name of it right now, but I don't use it for this purpose. I like the flavor of Hellman's. However, if you prefer salad dressing, it'll change the flavor somewhat, but it's not going to hurt anything. If you like salad dressing, you like salad dressing. Okay, I'm going to put about 3/4 of a cup of raisins. You can put the blonde raisins, or you can use the regular raisins. So I use the sun-made raisins. Y'all know, I'm just having a hard time trying to use a measuring cup. I really am. Usually I eyeball, but if you want to make this much, then of course you have to adjust it accordingly. With 3/4 of a cup is what I usually use in there. Also, if you don't want to put the raisins, if you don't want to put the sugar, leave the sugar out. I mean, either way, you can make it either way. Leave the sugar out, and then this particular salad has somewhat of a little sweet taste to it. So you want to use the raisin and or the sugar, or leave the sugar out if you cannot have sugar. I'm not supposed to have sugar, but I can have, because I'm not going to eat the whole 3/4 of the half cup. I'm just going to eat a small cup of this salad. And the other thing that I do, I use my spatula in there, because I'm still chopping into that broccoli to bruise it, so that the seasonings will go ahead and go through it, and it'll taste really yummy. And it just helps to soften that broccoli. And this broccoli, someone asked me, I think last week, how long does broccoli last in the refrigerator? Usually about a week. And then after a week, it gets sort of watery and might even taste a little bit different. But I mean, if you still got some left, I don't really have any left that long. But I know one time I had put some in a cup and set it to the side and forgot it was in there, and Tansy didn't know it was in there because this is one of her favorite things in the world to eat. And 2 weeks later, it was in there. I wouldn't suggest eating it past that week and a half. But you play it by ear. But I know it's really, really still good in a week because I've had it. Some, again, I set some in the refrigerator from one Sunday till that Saturday, and it was still there. And then one time Tansy was gone, I saved her some, so I knew it was going to be good after that week was up. So after a week, it's still good. You see some of these pieces that I didn't get quite chopped up. You know, if you miss one or two here or there, it's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. But it's good to get it all chopped up. So now, all the ingredients are in. Usually I use approximately 2 cups of mayo in here. So go ahead and take my spatula and just do this. That's a cup. And that's another cup, okay? And I think that's going to be a plenty to go in there, okay? So now we're just going to continue mixing. Mix until we get it all mixed up. And then we're going to put it in the refrigerator and chill it. Well, of course, I'm going to put the bacon in it. Mainly the bacon, I'm going to just drop it on there and just toss it a couple times. Okay? So when I come back, it will all be done. Okay, the broccoli salad is just about there. Now, the thing to remember too, when you on that first step, when you make it, you want to make sure you chunk into that about 3 or 4 minutes. Make sure you bruise it up real good so that mayo will get into that broccoli and it breaks it down, soften it up a little bit. Okay, and I did have to put another, so I put a half, and I put another 1/4 cup of sugar in there. And now we're ready to put the bacon bits. Okay, I fried the bacon. I just put them in my, I'm going to say it right this time, my NutriBullet. And that's about all you need. That's 6 strips of bacon. Got them chopped up real good in this NutriBullet. And now I'm just going to stir it around. You don't need a lot. But that little sweet and salty taste is real good. And just toss it around in this like so. Okay. Makes it look pretty. And it's ready to go in the refrigerator now. So this is the broccoli salad. Most of the times I don't even put the bacon, but this time I decided why not. Just to give it a little bit of an extra taste. But you could put bacon. You could even sprinkle some grated cheddar cheese, sharp cheddar, soft cheddar, about whatever you have, any kind of grated cheese that you want to put over or not. Okay, so that's the broccoli salad, y'all. I'm going to be putting it in a dish, get it in the refrigerator and let it get good and chill. And try to make this like early in the day. Give it time to sit in the fridge and get nice and chill. So that's the broccoli salad, y'all. Quick, simple dish, very good accent to any dish, any meal rather. Okay, broccoli salad is done. Okay, broccoli salad all done. It makes a good amount. I would say just as a side little garnish to a meal, this will feed 15 people. But now, I don't know. Or maybe even more, because this is not something you eat like a whole serving of. You eat it like a, again, like coleslaw. You don't eat like a big bowl full of coleslaw, I don't think. But anyway, this broccoli salad is ready to go in the freezer. I'm just going to get it wrapped. Put some saran wrap on it, put it in the fridge, and you'll see it again on the flavor train. Okay, y'all, it's time to get this fried rice going. I got the peppers and onions in the pan sauteing. I've got one large green pepper and one large onion chopped up real fine. Pour a little bit more oil in the middle of the pan because I'm getting ready to now, like I did before, I'm going to put my ground turkey right in the center. This is my loaded fried rice, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and hit those onions and peppers with about a tablespoon of complete seasoning, y'all. That's all that is. And then we're going to do a little bit of garlic powder. I guess I need to use this. Well, I did. That is. I poured it up. Okay. I'm getting ahead of myself, y'all. I got this heat on super high. Season those peppers and onions real well. Let me just give them a little toss there. Give them a toss, and let some of that oil run. So I want to make sure that we're getting a saute and not a steam, okay? Okay, so now we're going to have to pour a little bit more oil. I've used all my oil with the peppers and onions. I noticed that we're getting a little bit of condensation in there. But again, make sure that you have that heat high. Even before you put your veggies in. I have a 3-pound tube of ground turkey that I'm going to be using. I'm not going to use 3 pounds. I'm going to use about a pound and a half. And I think that will be a great opportunity because I'm using 4 cups of rice. Get that. Trying to get a little itsy bitsy on me. Squeeze that ground turkey right out in there. If I open it right, it'll come out right. It really will, y'all. It really will come out right. Okay. So that's about 3 pounds. I'm sorry. This whole tube is, 3 pounds, 48 ounces. And I'm using maybe a little bit over half. Maybe I cheated a little bit and used a little bit over half. But I want it right in the center of that pan so it can start to brown. And then when I get everything going, I'm going to put the 4 cups of uncooked rice, which makes, oh Lord, probably 12 cups, y'all. Y'all know me in measuring. But this is if you need to cook a lot. If you don't need to cook a lot, you cook or maybe a cup and a half of rice and maybe use 1/4 of a pound of ground beef. You have to sit down and do the math to get small portions because when I'm cooking on here, more than likely I'm cooking for a crowd. So you'll see my measurements. So just, you can just break them down according to your size of eaters. So I'm going to go ahead and do another couple of teaspoons rather, of complete seasoning onto that ground turkey. And all I'm doing here, y'all, is sauteing. Saute until it all gets cooked. And again, when you're doing fried rice, basically in any kind of dish like this, you are putting, mainly in the end, you're putting those ingredients together. A little bit more oil in there. You're putting these ingredients together because in the end, they're all going to be cooked. So, okay, that's brown. Whew, y'all, you know what? This smells so good. Whew. And then I got that, remember I've got that roast in the oven. These flavors are hitting me. That little smoothie I made this morning is about to leave me. Look at that brownness coming up out the bottom of that pan. And so what you do is just keep right on doing this until all that gets brown and ready to put the rice in. So when we do, I'll be right back. Okay, y'all, now it's time to start putting the rice in. The meat and the veggies are all browned up. So we just start heaping that rice over there. And this is basically a mixing process. I'm just getting that rice on the bottom into a little bit of oil. I can lower my heat somewhat now. Hit that skillet with a little bit more oil in the center. We don't want nothing burning. And just start mixing. Fried rice, y'all. Loaded fried rice. When we're using ground turkey as the meat in there, this just makes a good hearty dish. Because you can also just have this rice dish here, honey, make you a salad to go with it or not. If you're a bread eater, get you some bread going with it. You're going to hit that first layer. I'm just going to start layering in the seasoning now, okay? And then I'll go just alternate with rice and seasoning. Remember now, this is for a crowd, so I've got, okay, I'll have one more mixerization to do. You need to fill this wok. And so you can keep your heat sort of on low at this point. This is the way I do it. Okay, heat on low. You have to keep some oil in there to keep the rice granules. You don't want them to turn into mush on you. So I'm doing a teaspoon at a time of this complete seasoning pretty much. And then I've got some soy sauce, and I'll be adding a little bit of soy sauce. Y'all know I told y'all many times I don't do a lot of soy sauce. So that's a good tablespoon of soy sauce. And of course I got my rice vinegar going here. Okay. I use rice vinegar in my fried rice, so I'll use it if I open it. Okay. I have not opened it yet. So all total, a couple teaspoons. Just gives it a little, just a little bit of a different flavor. And of course I'm gonna get my ginger and turmeric going here in a second. And I'll hit it with a little bit, not a lot, but just give it a little kick. I really need a metal spatula. I hate to put it in there because it makes so much noise, but y'all gonna have to bear with the noise right here for a minute with the spatula. The metal spatula works so much better because so I can back it up like that, and I can get my little crusties off the bottom with it. But my plastic spatula just keeps the noise down. Okay, for you who don't like to hear all the noises of cooking, but you know when you're cooking now. I don't know how to shut down the noise when you're watching cooking. You can shut it down. But when you're actually cooking, unless you put on earplugs, it's one of the things that I teach in my little cooking tidbits in my cookbook is that you need to hear your food. Don't just need to see it and smell it. You need to hear your food. I love hearing my food. I love to hear what it has to say. That crackling sound, that sound that lets you know it's dry enough, it's crispy enough. So you have to hear that, and then you know when you're stirring, if you hear that clank, clank, clank in the bottom of the pan, you know you got down to the bottom of that pan and got that goodie out of there. So, and that bang bang, that's just a natural thing to do when you're cooking. I don't know. I think it's to make sure you got every grain of rice or whatever off the spoon. So what I'm going to continue to do here, y'all, is go ahead and keep layering my seasoning and get it all mixed in. I'll be right back. Okay, as I'm continuing with my seasoning, I got my stick of butter in the center there, so it'll go ahead and melt, because I always add a stick of butter to my fried rice. And I did 2 packs of the sodium-free chicken bouillon for extra flavor as well. And I'm going to go ahead and add me about a teaspoon of black pepper. You got to have black pepper in there. Let's get it on this side so I can get my teaspoon going here. Got my teaspoon of black pepper. And that's it for the seasoning. So what I'm going to do now is just continue to mix. I'm going to let that butter's going to melt. I'm going to get that butter melted all throughout that rice. Just remember to make sure once you start the mixing process, get those seasonings in there. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes. Now for something like this size of a pan, You're gonna have to mix it 10 minutes. Small pan, you know, 3-4 minutes will do it, but 10 minutes for sure to get all this mixed in, because this is enough rice for 24 people. I always make extra because everybody likes to eat extra. Okay, so for all practical purposes, guys, I'm just going to continue to mix that. I'm going to get it into my container, and we're done with the fried rice. Okay, y'all, the fried rice is ready, and all I'm doing here is just transferring it out of my wok, because I got to use it one more time into my aluminum foil pan. As you can see, this pan is going to be loaded to the very top with this rice, and we'll have plenty. This rice, like I said, will feed 24 people easily, even the big eaters, because we got so many other things going on here today. Okay, so it's all done. Gotta get my green beans and carrots going. And this meal will be just about done, except for frying up the chicken. I'm going to start frying chicken in about 30 minutes. Take me about 10 or 15 to get the beans together. But the rice is all done, y'all. I have it packed to the top in that pan, and we're done here. Okay, yeah, there's the roast. I think it's about done. What I need to do now at this point is to get that broth off of there. Oh yeah, it's got to cook some more. It's not quite sticking like I want it to stick. It's got to go back in. What I'm going to do at this point is go ahead and pull that broth off and do my gravy. I'm going to do some gravy with this, y'all, so y'all hang in there with me. Oh, it smells so wonderful. So wonderful, y'all. Okay. My nice little mitts. Barb gave me these. You know, I'm starting to pick up stuff with no hands. I see that all that broth come off that. I did not put one bit of water in that meat. Not one bit. So meat and vegetables have a lot of water content. I promise you, I didn't put any water. I never put water. I would just cover it, and it forms that condensation, and it pulls that the water content just pulls it right out. I think I've got about 2.5 cups there, and that's going to be a plenty. I'm going to just thicken that, pour it back over it, and run it back through the oven and let it finish cooking, because it has been cooking now from 10 to about 2.5 hours. I said about 3.5. Yep, right on target. So all I got to do to this is just make me a little flour water and pour in there and thicken that gravy, and we will have us some broth or gravy for the beef, for the roast beef. Okay. Okay, I hope you see what I'm doing here. I've just made some thick flour water. I'm pouring it through a strainer so we won't get too many dumplings in there. Just let it boil up and get really, really nice and thick. And then when it cooks out a little bit more, I'm going to pour it right back over that roast. It'll be a little bit thicker. Okay. Got a few little dumpers in there, but they'll cook out. Turn the heat down now. Matter of fact, you turn it all the way out. Make sure you taste it, your gravy, just to be sure. It's wonderful. Just to be sure that it has enough salt content to be. I got a package of. I'm sorry, I was away from the camera, so if y'all didn't hear that, I have a package of Lipton onion soup mix that I'm just going to pour over into that. Matter of fact, I got a half a pack. I'm not going to put an entire pack. This is salty, and I don't want my gravy to get too salty. So, while it was cooking through, still has a little bit of a boil to it. I'm just going to pour about half that pack in there, not the whole pack, just half the pack. And let's give it another stir. Yum, 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 yum. A little bit of garlic powder in there. A little bit of soya. About a tablespoon of soy, about a teaspoon rather of soy sauce in there. I'm just gonna take this same gravy. You notice I didn't do anything with browning. This needs just like a light gravy on it. And all I'm gonna do, folks, after I get my mess off the stove. My whole stove is hot. Guess because I got the oven on, I'm sure. I need to get this show back on the road. I need to get this back in the oven. And what I'm going to do is take that gravy, pour it back over there. See how nice and creamy? This is a nice creamy gravy for that meat. See? Perfect amount of gravy. We don't need an overly large amount of gravy on there. 2.5 cups is perfect for that. So what we're just going to do is go ahead and get it back into the oven and let it continue to cook. And I've got some roasts also under there. Some peas. In fact, those were like sliced up already, so I bought that package. Probably about 4 servings under there. Okay. It's getting there. It's almost as tender as I want it. I don't want it too big. I want to be able to slice this whenever it gets completely done. It's got about another hour's worth of cooking to go. Okay. And we're going to leave it the oven on 350. And just let it cook, slowly cook. It's wonderful. Wonderful, y'all. Let's cover it right back up. And let the gravy cook into the roast, y'all. So we're done with the roast except for just letting it cook its last hour, okay? Okay, y'all, it's time to get these green beans going. These gourmet green beans, and I call them gourmet. Simply because I'm going to saute everything up. These are my carrots that are going to go into them. Remember I showed you the green giant beans. See, I'm 6 pounds for, oh wow, I think I paid like $7 for them. Then they come in 1 pound bags. That right there is just a little signature. Okay, so what I'm doing first though is to get my carrots going. Let me get them softened up. And then in about 5 or 6 minutes, I'm going to put my beans and my onions in. Get those seasoned up, raw. Put them all seasoned up. A little bit of garlic. You know, carrots have their own natural flavor, so you don't have to do a whole lot to them. So we're just going to get them going here in the wok. And it's best to use this wok. I got a couple pieces of onions in there that won't hold the same. Saute that up in there. Get them going, y'all. Get them going. And those carrots are basically, you know, well, for the most part, they're there for seasoning. As well as they make the dish, they're going to make this dish look so much prettier. Just get them going in there. I just love baby carrots. so yummy. And when you cook them like that, it pulls out some flavor. Lots of flavor. I'm going to turn that heat down a little bit and just let them cook a little bit like that. I think when I did these before, I didn't put the onions in them, but I'm doing it this time because I'm cooking them like I want. Last time I cooked them was for somebody else. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and throw the onions in. A few more onions. And of course, you know, we got to sprinkle them with a little garlic powder. Hit them with a little bit of complete seasoning. Like I said, I like to season each one of my ingredients separately and then put them all together. Get those going around and get them sauteed. On the bottom of those brown specks, that's your what do you call it? Your seasoning on the bottom there is all that is. All that is. So we're going to get these seasoned up really good. I'll give it a little bit more oil. A little bit more oil in there. Couple tablespoons of oil. A lot of people shy away from the complete and the garlic because it browns up. I know what it is. It adds character to the dish. Now, probably if you go on Top Chef, Magic Chef, or whatever you call it, they probably will give you demerits if you serve the dish with the brown specks. I don't know. I don't know. Hope everybody's having a God bless Sunday. Most of all, hope you're getting something good to eat going on in there. You get them little brownies out. You know, if you see some little undesirables floating around in there, just reach in there and get them and ask them to leave. Those onions there got a little bit too brown on the bottom there. So what I'm going to go ahead and do now, I'm going to get these off to the side sort of. They're going to continue cooking. And I'm going to go ahead and get my beans in there. Now, these green beans are fresh frozen, but I want my oil really, really hot when I put them in, so I'm going to put a little bit more oil in the pan. And we're going to go ahead and drop those beans in there. That's the first batch. And again, we're seasoning in layers. Complete seasoning, a little garlic powder. We're going to hit these with a little bit of soy sauce. Get them cooking in there. I'm going to go ahead and get my next batch of beans. This is like 2 pounds now of beans. So in this pan, I've got 3 pounds of veggies at least, because 2 pounds of beans, that complete seasoning on there. We're going to lower that heat. I'm using my knife to do this. And I got my butter standing by. Let's go ahead and get my butter incorporated here. That's half my stick right there. I have to be careful with the butter. I want it to be saturated throughout my veggies, but I don't want it to burn, because you know butter will burn on you. I'm going to have to use my metal spatula now, because when you put heavy in that pan, you have to have something to push it around. You can't be playing around with it. You got to have a metal spatula to get that, get those beans pushed around, get those carrots pushed around. It's going to be a pretty confetti type looking dish. Okay. And I'm going to install my 3rd bag of beans. Okay. Just move them around a little bit in there. Start incorporating everything together. Incorporate doesn't mean put together, doesn't it? Let's give you a double there. Okay. That's about 2.5 pounds of beans in there. Got that heat all the way up because if you notice now, you don't hear it shh as loud. That means that the water content has shown up. That's why I said when you're doing stir fry and stuff with a lot of water content, and usually vegetables do have a lot of water content. You have to just be kind of careful with how high you have your heat. Okay? And I'm going to go ahead and add the last of those beans in there. So we got 3 pounds of beans going on. So the way you do this, because you know you're going to have to cook them a while because you don't want them all mushy. Okay, that last little bit, get them on the bottom down there. I'm going to get this other piece of butter going in there. Last piece of butter. So 1 stick of butter in this dish. Get it down there so it can get melted out. Just gonna keep it going. And this is how you do it. You just continue to mix and stir, mix and stir. And this will take about 15, maybe 20 minutes to do for this amount because I'm serving a crowd. Okay, so I'm gonna let that just sit there and do what it do for a few minutes, and then we'll be back. Okay, our green beans are there. It takes about 15, maybe 20 minutes for them to get there because this was like 3 pounds. When they start looking like that and they sort of tender and like this, I mean, they got to be at least like that to be done. Flavors all through and through them. Take them off the heat now for about 15 minutes. And just continue to stir them like this. See that broth in the bottom? That's going to happen. But that's your seasoning down there. So just make sure that broth down there is seasoned well. Of course, I use complete seasoning, garlic powder, black pepper, a little bit of soy sauce, some adobo seasoning, and about in this entire dish I use about a teaspoon of salt because you got to get a little bit of salt going in there to pull those flavors together. So the green beans and carrot, the gourmet green beans and carrots, they're ready. Okay, so we're going to just let them sit off here to the side and let them sit there and do what they do and continue to just sort of float around in that juice. Then I'm going to put them into a serving pan. So I'll be back. Okay, as promised, time to fry the chicken. Okay, so what I'm doing today is I'm using a milk bath, and then we're going to dip it into the flour, and then we're just going to pan fry it. Not deep fat fry, but just pan fry it. So I'm frying legs, thighs, and wings. So of course, because it takes a little bit longer to fry those thighs, I'm going to go ahead and get those thighs going first. I've got about a good hour to fry them, so it'll be nice and popping hot. And we'll be ready to sit down, relax, and enjoy them here shortly. So we're going to get those, and not to have that chicken, that grease too hot, but hot enough because you know you got to have it where it'll stay nice and crisp. So a good old pan fried. Get my thighs going. It'll be nice and crispy and brown and delish. I think I can get those are good size thighs. There you go. I'm like I said, just dip them in that milk bath. And of course, y'all know I put seasoning in that milk bath. Have to put the seasoning. And you can't fry it too hot, but you got to have it real good and hot so that it'll be nice and crispy. And along with the thighs, I can get a couple of drumsticks, because that's the next kind of chicken that takes a little bit of time. The drumsticks take a little bit more time to cook than the rest of the chicken does. Here. And you know, like I said, you can do a buttermilk bath or just a regular or cream milk bath. I call it a milk bath before we put the batter on them. And I think that's going to be enough for that pan. And you know, I'm going to cover it and let it cook. And about 10 minutes on each side. I can get one more right there. Y'all know, always room for one more in there. Okay, now that's a plenty in that pan. Okay, so we're just going to let those fry on up for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and get them covered. Okay, y'all, the food is ready. There's that broccoli salad, fried chicken, beautiful pan-fried chicken. Don't you just love the color it gets? There's a sweet buttery cornbread. There's that roast beef with the potatoes and other vegetables and the gravy. Pour it on the cob, y'all. I'm still frying chicken too. And there's that good old stuff, super loaded rather, rice and those gourmet green beans and carrots. Lord, I'm telling y'all, I got the crescent rolls in the oven. We are ready to sit back, relax, and enjoy this meal. Got those crescent rolls, and you know, those crescent rolls and that fried chicken is going to be something to reckon with. So y'all, until I cook again, please keep those prayers going up so the blessings will continue to come down, and keep each other just lifted up based on all the tragedies that are happening over in up in Virginia, all the weather that's still happening throughout the heartland, out in Arkansas, Oklahoma, y'all. Just keep each other lifted up and always pray. And the person that asked me last week, how can we cease without praying? How can we not cease without praying? We have to pray always. Even if we don't verbally, just physically do it, we have to have a mindset to pray. That's what praying without ceasing means. It means to have a mindset to pray. And God knows your heart. He knows you're not going to pray every second of the day, but He does know when you have a mindset to pray. And then the Holy Spirit then can make your intercession for you and pray on your behalf when you need prayer or when you need to pray for someone else. So again, keep those prayers going up so the blessings will continue to come down. And until I cook again, y'all, I'm going to say toodaloo. Love you guys. Thank y'all for tuning in.